Lots of recent developments because of last week's elections, local and federal levels.
Joining us now to break it all down, WGN political analyst Paul Lisnek. A lot to talk about.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, let's start with the state's attorney's race, because on the Democratic side, you've got a very thin margin, and now these ballots that were uncounted. What's going on there?
Right. So about a 4,700 vote difference there, and that's been creeping in.
Right.
What happened was they found these 10,000 or so votes. That sounds, okay, what's going on here? But the truth is, it doesn't look like anything is nefarious here. It just looks like this was a goof. In fact, both candidates have representatives watching the counting, and Eileen O'Neill Burke's manager said, or tweeted just the other night, she said, look, I'm there, I'm watching, there's nothing wrong going on here, it's just bad communication. But that's it. So we'll just get the votes counted today and see where things continue to go.
What does this look like for state's attorney? Because the Democratic nominee is likely to go on to win the general election in November. And you have two candidates right now. One of them is backed by Toni Preckwinkle and the Democratic Party of Cook County. And then you have the former judge who stepped down from the appellate court to run for this job.
So it's a good question, although Bob Fioretti, who's the Republican candidate, would say, wait a minute, I got a shot here. So let's give a nod to Bob.
We do know his name.
Exactly. No, so look, I think it's sort of a question about the operative Democratic Party here, because they've endorsed Clayton Harris. And I think what's going on here is sort of an issue, Sean, between, is this Cook County in that race, is this Cook County basically saying, yes, we want to support Preckwinkle endorsed candidate and that view and sort of the continuation of what we have? Eileen O'Neill Burke's ads have been really tough on crime ads, and we know crime is rough in the city. So I think there's a balance between that, the Democratic loyalty, if you will, and people saying, I've had enough of this. It's time to have a shift. We're also seeing O'Neill Burke's strength more in the suburbs, with Harris more in the city.
Right.
That could be expected when you look at the strength of the Democratic Party, but it's close, and we'll see how it comes out.
So all eyes on that race into this upcoming week.
Yeah.
Another big story we got to talk about out of elections was the failure of the Bring Chicago Home referendum, which, as you know, one of Mayor Johnson's signature priorities.
Yeah, he's gotten a few things through City Council, but he needed the public to speak up on this one.
Right.
And of course, he's downplayed it. We'll take other approaches. Here's the thing. You've got to step back and say, how did this happen, right? If there's this great support for the mayor's agenda, then why did this thing fail? And I think what may be going on is people looking and saying, you know what, not sure where that money was going to go. I support your agenda, says Chicago, but don't make me pay for it. So I think what they need to do is, looking forward, is do we have to look at different numbers? Maybe it's houses that are $2 or $3 million, and a distinction between residential homes and commercial. There was no distinction drawn here. Right. And Sean, somebody can own a home that's worth $1 million in the city, but that's different, Gainer, than somebody who says, well, I have a 3-flat, and that's also worth that much money or more, because it impacts rents. A lot of clarification wasn't there, and I think voters just said, we're just not going to blanketly give you our approval
But
here.
You've also got now a shakeup in his administration, losing his chief of staff, Rich Guydas. Is that related to this failure? And what does that do for, how the business community looks at this mayor? Because Guydas is someone who was a City Hall veteran, and people were applauding his appointment.
Yeah, it looks like retirement number 2 for Rich Guydas at this point, right? He retired, went into Johnson's administration. Look, we don't know. So, I mean, he has not said anything is up. The timing is sort of interesting here. Things go in a certain way. But listen, Guydas might say, look, the election's over. And I was ready to retire. It's time for me to go. Maybe some time will pass and we'll get a little more clarity on that. But there's no question that Mayor Johnson has to be looking at his approval ratings and his view by the city, and some shifting is needed, and we'll see how he does that in the weeks and months to come.
It's interesting to see the differences in the Democratic Party in the city right now because of the failure of that referendum. It's going back to the moderates versus the more progressive wings of the Democratic Party, and the failure of that referendum said something about the progressive agenda in the city of Chicago,
Sean,
at least right now.
I think it did, but at the same time, when you look at some of the races, you have Graciela Guzman in the 20th race winning. She's, the ultra progressive versus the Natalie Toro, who was the appointed representative after Christine Pasiones, thank you. Took a job with the administration.
The new chief of staff.
Who's now going to, exactly, looks that way. So the bottom line is, it's like some progressives won, but not in all races. And so, I think you're right to sort of say, what is going on in the city? There's a strong Democratic Socialist, a hold there in the city council. council, but maybe Chicagoans are going, it's a little bit too much for me. So that might be something to watch in November. You know, that's the next time people get to chime in after these primaries and see which way they tend to go.
One last word on voter turnout. We're at now 24% voter turnout. 1.7 million registered voters in the city of Chicago, and we had just over 500,000 turnout.
So some would argue that that's because there's no contest at the top of the ticket,
Sure.
right? Biden, Trump, they're both winners, you know, in their party. So what are we doing this for? But I think what people need to realize is we're doing more than just picking a president. In fact, arguably, when you're voting for your members of Congress, and in November when we're looking at school board, the more local you get, the more impact it has on your personal life, right? You're going to have far less impact by the president than you are by Congress and lower levels. So hopefully people will understand that and realize certainly in November that there's a lot to on stake here for the election coming up, future Supreme Court appointments, all that kind of stuff. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that in the months to come.
And if you need evidence that every vote counts, just look towards that state's attorney's race and how close things are.
Exactly. People have to vote. There's no question.
All right, Paul, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And you're coming up at 9
At
o'clock.
9 o'clock, I'm going to have Congressman Mike Quigley with me and Professor Connie Mixon. We're going to look back at the elections, and Quigley's going to tell us what the heck is going on in Washington right now.
All right, we will watch Political Report coming up at 9 a.m. Paul, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.